When I let off, I click it neutral, and granted, I'm only going 70 miles an hour down the track. The entire steering wheel is just shaking, top to bottom, top to bottom. And I had Nick put a GoPro in it, so you'll be able to see in this video how violent it actually was. That's what happened. Oh, so, you want a quick recap?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's perfect.
Alright, quick recap.
A quick recap, and then we'll take Brett's reaction.
Okay. So, obviously, before this event, I don't say obviously, we sent the front struts off to get rebuilt, rear struts off to get rebuilt. It's been a long time since they've been redone. The rears, not so much. The rears were fine. The fronts I knew were old. They rebuilt them. The compression was completely blown out on them, so they've made them fresh. Everything's good. We go to the track on Thursday to try to get some test sessions in. The track wasn't great. It's actually probably the worst we've seen since we've been running this car.
Why is that?
No excuses on my end, but the guy that preps the track just straight up says the glue he uses to prep it is different from what they're used to. And he even said, man, I'm lost, I'm working on it, I'm trying to figure out how to get this track good for you guys. So he was still experimenting with different ways to prep the track to make it good. That being said, we went out 80 feet about the first pull on Thursday, blew the tires off. 90 feet, the second pull, blew the tires off, and then we figured out how to fix that. We made a few changes in the front end with limiters and weight. What else did we do? And weight in the front. So come Friday night we tested. We made, what, 2 or 3 passes on Friday? Three. And about all 3 passes, about 250 feet out. The car 60 footed, to be honest, the best 60 foot it's ever done. And about 250 feet out, it just spun the tires and went sideways. I let off just in time. When I'd let off though, I will say, when the front end came down, the steering wheel was shaking really bad on me, which I reported to my crew guys, let them know what's going on. And at first they said, man, Steven, you're just skinny and weak, hold it tighter. So I said, you know what? I had Nick put a GoPro in the car for Friday, one of our other test sessions, to get a video of it. And, sorry, take it back. Saturday, we put new tires on the back, because we made 3 passes on Friday. About 250 feet on all 3 passes, it spun. So I didn't realize at the time, one of the back left tires, was it back left? No, the back right tire, they have wear indicator markers, like how to tell you when your tires are getting bad. I thought they were good before the race. They were like, man, get new tires. I'm like, man, they're fine. They only have 12 passes on them. The back left one looked brand new. The back right one had 2 spots where the wear indicators were past the markers. So it's time for new tires. So Saturday, we get to the track, we install new tires, and then we also reset the travel limiters on the front end, which I think is what we found out. I think what the problem was, why we were spinning 250 feet out. Saturday, we get there, new tires are on it. It was like literally the middle of the day when the tracks are absolutely the worst, but I want to do at least 1 burnout before E1, just to break the tire in a little bit. So we went up there, staged it. It only went like 10 feet and spun, which I was expecting it to spin. I would want it to go down, but I wasn't confident it was going to go all the way down. When I let off, I click it neutral, and granted, I'm only going 70 miles an hour down the track. The entire steering wheel is just shaking, top to bottom, top to bottom. And I had Nick put a GoPro in it, so you'll be able to see in this video how violent it actually was. After that, we only had a few hours before E1, so Chad and the guys, they took the front wheels off, they looked everything over. We honestly couldn't see anything wrong, and you know, it's at that point where it's like, do you risk running the car and doing something bad? But I just, man, I don't know, I was in the racing moment, and I probably shouldn't have raced the car. We really probably stopped and loaded it up, taken it back to the shop and fixed it, but I wanted to race. And sure as first round, car went perfect down the drag strip. I pulled the chutes, and from this mile an hour to this mile an hour, slowing down, it had the death wobble, I call it, and then it stopped and went away right before I made the turn. So we won first round. Come back to the pits, I tell them the same thing. We went almost, you know, X amount fast. It didn't do it right when I pulled the chutes. It was only like in between, let's say 170 miles an hour, really bad. So get the car ready for round 2. We still don't see anything wrong with the front end. We go to round 2. Round 2 was against another Proline 41X motor, so, you know,
comparable car. Very
comparable car. Instead of turbos, a big Pro Charger on it. So the car is a legit badass car. We ran him round 2. I can't tell, it looks like we were pretty even to about 250 feet. And then these turbo cars, man, I back half real hard. I'm guessing 1.5, 2 cars on them by the finish line. We won round 2. I pull the chutes, same thing. I was good. Then about between 170 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, bloop, it broke. 0 steering. So I'm literally, parachutes are already out. I'm slamming on the brakes. The car drifts a little bit to the center line, and then going right towards the wall. And I'm stopping as hard as I could, and I stopped right before we hit the wall. And let me show you. You can see this is where the manual rack attaches to the front strut. And the Racecraft Inc. piece here, you can see the strut itself actually broke. Now that piece is just broke there. This one, which I don't know if I can show you with the way this wheel is. Is there a way to get in there? It is actually fully broke off. So I literally had no steering coming to a stop from, I don't want to say the speed, but let's just say it's very fast. So I got very lucky that it broke when it did and not going down the track like right through the traps, because I could have wrecked this entire car.
So the whole thing is shaking.
The whole wheels are shaking.
The weakest part is going to break first.
Correct. So that's what happened.
That was the weakest part.
Correct.
Oh my god.
Correct. It's pretty nuts. Like I said, I call it the death wobble. And yeah, a couple other guys even said, because we're in the, we're drawn for chips in the drivers meeting. I told a couple guys about it, like other drivers, and like, you're still gonna run it? I'm like, man, I hadn't been down the track yet. Like I hadn't made a full pass. I wanted the car to run right. So yeah, we raced it anyway. So
then at this point, it's like a grocery cart wheel just going.
Yes, in the video you'll probably hear the tires going, because the tires were just doing this, trying to come to a stop.
Oh crap!
And obviously, we couldn't make round 3 because we were broke. And round 3 we literally right after round 3, which we missed, so we lost round 3 technically. A broke by the other guy got. Right after that, 2 other cars went down and did another class, and one did a wheelie, I think, came down, broke his oil pan. The other one broke. Pretty much both lanes were full of oil. This was about 4 o'clock in the morning at the time, and they canceled the race. So there wasn't even a real winner. I think there were 4 cars left that just split the money. And I hate to say coulda, woulda, shoulda, but if this thing stayed in one piece and we had that death wobble, man, we had a really good shot of winning it again. Really, really good shot.
Brett, what's your risk analysis?
The risk analysis is we should have put this bitch in the trailer and went home.
What we got going, Chad?
Not much. Hasn't done anything yet.
Nothing yet. We'll get out the way. Get out the way.
Hey, do you want to have this? We say you think brand new with this air. You only got one and two. You got two. What? You got two O2 sensors or one? Two. Get that to Steven.
All right. Red's down here taking a nap.
It's not bad. You got to cut wire though. It's
just have to bring him home. Say something for the channel. Why you get camera shot?
But I'm sitting here just looking over data now, and yeah, the guys are getting the car ready. They just changed the tires on it now, and we're making a few suspension changes in the front to try and fix that spot where we're spinning right about 250 feet out. It's literally right before the gear change. A lot of times with the car that we have, it makes so much horsepower that when you go to make the gear change, it kind of shocks the tires, and you normally spin down track at the gear change. We haven't even made it to the gear change. It's spinning right before the gear change. So we're gonna try to change a lot. We might get one, maybe two test passes before the first round of elimination starts at 7 o'clock tonight. So we're thrashing right now, and we're just gonna have to see what it does after this first test session. If I'm really hoping the tires make a huge difference, and that's what has us in left field. The other things that we did since the last time we raced the car was shocks. We sent the front shocks off to get rebuilt and the rear shocks. The rear shocks were, everything was fine. They were normal as they should be. The front shocks were very old. I haven't sent them off in a long time. The compression, meaning when the shock gets compressed, was pretty dead, so they fixed all that. And really that shouldn't matter as much as hard as we run the car and how we set the compression, but you know, that does come into a factor. We got new springs on it and everything else, so there are things that are, people don't think about. The smallest little thing can make the difference of this car going down the track and not. So besides that, we really haven't changed much. The engine's still the same, transmission, torque converter, everything else is still the same. We just have fresh shocks on it. So I was really hoping we were gonna go down the track Thursday and everything was gonna be great, but as racing goes, it's never easy. Everyone would do it if it was. So I'm gonna go out here and see where they're at. I think they got the new tires mounted, and we'll get ready for our first test pass today on Saturday.
Grab your log sheet from last year.
What do you need?
Travel.
The logs?
Travel.
Yep, okay. So, I got my old faithful log book here. So they're asking for logs, so I write down like how much travel, where the shocks are set, what tires are set, pretty much every pass, and it's needed in a car like this. So I'm gonna hang up with y'all now, and I'll get back here in a few. Something broke. Steering broke.
Oh hell! You got somebody coming to help you?
I hope so, but I don't know if I'll be able to steer out of here.
There's always going to be some sense of shake.
It's a race car.
But the amount that there was in this thing, like, we should have just packed it up and came back.
Man, that was the best outcome scenario.
100%.
Oh
This
my
could have been,
God.
this could have
This
been so
sucks,
much worse.
100% best outcome. We found the weakest link. We still have a car that is in running, driving shape.
Oh
No
my
body,
God.
fenders messed up. I'm still in one piece, which my wife will be happy and my kids will be happy for that.
We're extremely anal, like, especially Steven, about safety
Yeah.
in this car. It, like, right before, if you'll watch a video of any of us right before Steven pulls up, you'll see me or Chad in the door, and we're basically tightening the belts as tight as we can get. I mean, he's a small frame guy. It's got an ISP seat in it, so the tighter you can get the belts and get him into that foam, the better he is safety-wise. So
I'm anal about the safety stuff, and the same with the chassis. Like, safety, not this. I mean, if you just looked at this before the rounds, you couldn't see anything was wrong with it. But I'm anal, and my guys are. They go over every nut and bolt in the suspension before every pass, because all it takes is something stupid like that, and you're wrecking at those speeds, at this weight, it's gonna hurt really bad. So, again, we are really anal about safety stuff, just we couldn't see why it was doing what it was doing. And I guess in the back of my head, that's why I was like, I'll just run it again, we'll figure it out, I guess, you know what I mean? Let's just keep going until we figure it out, and that was the way we figured it out. It broke.
Yeah.
cut. Lunchtime.
Nailed it.
Lunchtime cut.
All right, Lupe, Dan turns 40.
Woo!
Lunchtime.
I hope I see 41.
Let's put the front end on. Hey, hold on, let me put the front end on. You get the Zeus tool still?
Yeah.
Oh, so technically, Dean, we've yet to been beat. I kept saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they canceled it.
I hate to say it. I keep saying it's gonna hurt when we finally get outran, because whoever outruns us is probably gonna talk a lot of shit for finally beating us. But you know, technically, hold on. Technically, we still have not been outran. I mean, we broke, but technically, let's go. Take the trailer to get fixed, and then what? When's the next race, Brett?
Cinco de Mayo.
Get the car ready for
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Nick, you got all the keys? I mean, I guess you can leave them unlocked until you get there. It was a good race. As always, had fun. Wish we would have had it figured out sooner than Saturday night in E1, but we got it figured out like we always do. Had a good shot of winning the race, just mechanical failures. It's part of racing, it happens. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, hit that subscribe button, comment below, let me know what y'all think about the footage in the race, and hopefully we'll hit up a street car event here soon, and then another race car event after that. Until next time.